my name is Amanda and welcome to the Done Creative. Before we get into this, I just want to remind everyone I do have a new live stream channel where I am live streaming 3 times a week. Sometimes you can catch yourself a free reading over there. Link for that is in the description. It is called the Done Creative Live. But for this pick a card reading, we're going to be figuring out what your soul mission or your life purpose is in this incarnation. If you're new to pick a card readings, I just ask that you close your eyes, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths to try to center your energy and focus in on piles number 1, 2, and 3. And if more than one pile calls out to you, there may be messages in each pile for you. Once you've selected your pile or piles, you can go ahead and check the description box below for the timestamps, and I also pin them as the top comment. Please remember, these are general readings, so only take the information that resonates for you, your life, and your situation, and leave the rest behind. So without delaying this any further, I'm going to give you a moment to meditate on the cards, and then I will see you at your reading. Alright, group number 1, let's go ahead and find out what your soul mission or your life purpose is during this lifetime. And we are going to start out with our 3 chakra love messages. So I'm going to just line them up at the top here. Alright, hopefully that's not crooked. But we're going to go ahead, we've got here the sacral chakra, the heart chakra, and the root chakra. So these may be 3 really prominent chakras for you during this lifetime that you're constantly working to balance or you're really powerful with. It could go both ways, it could be both. But with this sacral chakra, you have the crystal fire agate. This is all about creation. The flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. Connection with the green ocean jasper. Father Divine and Mother Earth make love in your heart. And also hematite with the root chakra foundations. A foundation is what your castle, the castle of your soul is built upon. So wow, this is really powerful stuff, you guys. So this is really telling me that you have had a rough go of things, at least maybe in your childhood or the past at some point, but the things that once destroyed you, it's almost like it created a new version of you, like that phoenix rising from the ashes. And it's really helped you create a more stable foundation in your life as you've grown. Or maybe you're still kind of working hard to try to create this stable foundation for yourself that you maybe didn't have in the past or as a child. But that is going to be something, part of your purpose is to learn to build from the ground up. And some of you may be doing that multiple times over your lifetime. That's that Pluto energy. It's that destruction, that death. After that destruction and death becomes that rebirth or that new foundation you're creating and building from. And as a result of that, many of you are really diving into your connections. You don't want to just meet someone and have a very superficial kind of connection. You guys are wanting these really deep soul connections with people, your family, your friends, your significant others. You want to really connect with someone on a soul level. Small talk and just kind of bonding over gossip, and that's just not your thing. That's not to say that maybe you hadn't operated that way in the past. I think everybody has that inclination to do that as a teenager, especially, where we just kind of get lost in the mix because everyone's trying to figure out who they are. So if you had at one point kind of gotten lost in that, don't beat yourself up. It's probably part of what you were, born to incarnate, to experience in this life, is to overcome that way of being, that way of thinking, that way of operating, because you guys are here to really connect a lot of other people as well. So you guys may be that bridge between different groups of friends, or you're just someone people connect to on a deeper level, which that makes them really want to be in your energy. And sometimes you do have to take a bit of caution, because people, without really realizing they're doing it a lot of times, can really take a lot of your energy, or siphon a lot of your energy, because they just feel so good to be in your presence that people will a lot of times really weigh you down. Maybe you really have to go into hermit mode a lot. You're probably natural introverts, but you guys, you do have a really special bond and connection with those soul family members, and then those people that you're meant to help awaken and trigger into making their own changes, their own rebirth in life. So let's go ahead and get more information from your oracle cards. Okay, so how did I do this? I dealt these out a few days ago and I don't remember what exactly I did. So I think we've got, let's do this. I'm trying to make it look as pretty as possible for you guys. That's what we're going to do. I'll just lay them all out and get back to you. How about that? The bottom of these cards are cut off, but I will go in depth. I will let you know what that's all about. So let's start right here in the middle with regeneration. I think this just pairs so beautifully with this fire agate card about creation. The flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. You are regenerating. So when you do go through some sort of loss or you're down and out, you really use that time, that kind of dark night of the soul or that hermit mode, to really get back in touch with what it is you're here to do, who it is you're here to be, what it is you're here to accomplish, and just you're really checking in with yourself. With this number 17, that adds up to an 8. So many of you are, after you go through that hermit mode, you take action. 8 is that number of action. But as a result of a lot of the things you've been through, many of you actually can create a lot of financial abundance in your lives as a result of the things you've been through. Think back to maybe some jobs that you've had that maybe it was very divinely guided or divinely timed things that have happened or transpired in your life that led you to exactly where you were in that moment. You may have a lot of that kind of serendipitous or synchronistic ways of operating in the world where everything just, you're like, how did this line up so magically? This is your soul. This is your spirit team at work to help you to be able to create what it is you want in this life. But again, it's not going to be very easy, because if it were easy, you wouldn't be learning a lot of beautiful life lessons, really rich lessons for your soul. So your soul really signed up to experience a lot of sadness, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of overcoming obstacles to be able to really grow. And that's what you're doing in this lifetime, is growing. You're learning from what you've been through and then on to the next, and then learning what you've been through and then on to the next. It's very cyclical. So you may have a lot of cycles that you're really noticing, a lot of cycles in your life, or repeated patterns. Even if you're breaking up with someone, you may start going out with someone else and they're just like the person you broke up with, and you're like, why is this person the same? It's because your soul wants to learn a specific lesson. Once you learn that lesson from this person, guess what? Then you can find someone who doesn't have those same qualities, those same things that trigger you into that same cycle. And on this card here, we have the Aries. So you guys really do like to jump in and start something new. But you also have the Taurus card. So it's not always where you're jumping in, starting something new. This has the power to go long. With that vitality here, that's that longevity. You have this like staying power. So even if you get knocked down a peg or two, you're not going to let that totally detour you. Not to say that in your past you haven't given up on certain things, but I think if that is the case for you, maybe years down the road, you're like, you know, that project I was working on years ago, maybe I can bring it back to life. Maybe I can rewrite that manuscript I shoved in the drawer because I knew it was horrible. Or that relationship with that friend that I cut out of my life as a teenager because I was jealous or something, maybe I can reach back out and start afresh. This is very, even though this isn't that sign of Taurus, I'm picking up on a nakshatra which actually exists in the sign of Gemini, which is Purnavasu, which actually, if I think about it, in Western astrology, Purnavasu would fall into the Taurus constellation, I do believe. And that is the return of the light. So a lot of times, and the reason I know so much about Purnavasu is my moon sign is actually located there. So you may have a Purnavasu moon or placements within Vedic Gemini, Western Taurus that really give you this longevity where you're connected to that Purnavasu. Return of the light, that means a lot of times you will try something more than once. You get knocked down, but you always get back up, and then you finally do succeed, and you really do use this, you know, where you've been, the destruction and the rebirth, to actually create a really nice foundation for yourself with that foundation card. So it really does all work out, but the number 5 is prevalent here with the 32. So you guys really do, I won't say, I'm seeing about 50% of you love to see big changes happen in your life, and then there are those other 50% that you hate change. You don't want things to change. When things are going well, you don't want things to change. But this is to say, a lot of changes are to take place in your life. So if you start out in one place in your life, by the time you're 80, 90, 100 years old, you're so far removed from where you started that it almost looks like multiple different lifetimes you lived within one lifetime, which is really cool and interesting. So then here we have you are not alone, isolation, physical connection, and community. So this really does go back to this connection card here. Many of you feel this longing for a place called home that maybe you haven't quite tapped into on this realm. But once you start getting into your spirituality, or those of you who have already been on a spiritual path, once you did get on that spiritual path, you did start to feel that connection to your home in the stars, your home beyond the veil, whatever you want to call that, your spirit team, your higher self. You're starting to feel more connected. And many of you do thrive and need that spiritual connection to feel like life is going well for you. When you feel isolated from your spirituality, from your inner guidance system, that's when things can really go astray for you. You just feel out of control, or life's happening for you or to you rather than for you, and you just kind of almost are like in this spin cycle of life, and it's really hard. But a big part of what you're here to do, your soul mission, is to reconnect yourself back to your higher self, reconnect yourself back to your star brothers and sisters, to your soul family, to your guides and angels. You're reconnecting all of that. And as a result of you connecting those dots back together, you're triggering or helping other people to do the same in their lives. So many of you are kind of this catalyst to help other people reach the bottom of the barrel, the depths of their darkest night of the soul, to spring back up to the heights of what their potential is on this planet. So many of you might even want to or strive to be some sort of life coach or mentor to other people, maybe your teachers. But you guys, regardless of the career that you're in, part of your life purpose is to teach others. And it's not like you're up on your ivory tower trying to teach others. It's because you've been where they are, or you've been in a similar situation to where people can actually see you as this inspiration, because maybe certain people remember you being down where they're at, and now look how far you've come. So you really are an inspiration to people. But also with this deep cellular healing card, this is an Arcturian energy, physical and emotional healing. So you are here to do a lot of karma clearing, if you want to look at it that way, or just deep cellular healing. But of course, there's a lot going on this planet, and the vibration here is much lower than that Arcturian vibration. So many of you will identify or have or do identify as Arcturian or Arcturus starseeds. If you don't, this just could be that you are also working with the Arcturian Council, the Arcturian Council, what do they call them? The Arcturian starseeds, I don't know, whatever they call that collective, Arcturian collective. Maybe you really resonate with that. Maybe looking up Arcturian starseed signs, that might help you and really resonate with you. Because you guys are here to do a lot of your own deep healing with that creation card. The flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth, but you also do that with other people. You help other people step into what they're here to do. Also protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, and soul retrieval. So many of you, especially in your earlier years before you were on a more spiritual path, or if you're just now getting on that spiritual path, this may still apply to you. But it might be hard for you to really keep your energy away from others. And that's why a lot of times you do have to kind of pull all your energy back and disconnect from the world a little bit to get your bearings, because other people's energy is very intense. You guys are very highly sensitive empaths. If you don't resonate with the term empath or highly sensitive, then this just means that you have given a lot of your power away. A lot of times unknowingly, empaths do give their power away because they're so open, they're so loving, they take on other people's energy as if it's their own, and it a lot of times puts the empath in kind of that more victim mode, or feeling like they're not in control of their own life. But when you can cut those cords surrounding other people, other situations, things that are draining your life force, that's when you can feel back in control of your own life and more powerful. So a big part of your soul mission and what you're here to do is to learn those boundaries, to learn to, figure out where you begin and someone else ends, like that. Where you end and someone else begins, that's what I'm trying to say. So cutting cords, putting up boundaries where they're needed might be very important for some of you, and just calling back your power. Not let life happen to you, but again, let life happen for you, and realize that life is happening for you, not to you, is going to be really important. And then with this priestess card, it says here, how are you being called to step up and lead? And just by being where you once were and overcoming that, and then falling down, and then overcoming that, and then falling down and overcoming that, it's really created this ripple effect of inspiring other people. Where are you being called to step up and lead? And for many of you, that's going to be in physical connection, deep soul connection with people, and helping yourself and others heal, allowing others to, or showing others how to create their own boundaries, and you yourself are creating boundaries in your own life. But this Priestess card, you are very spiritually attuned, very tapped in. Even if you're just starting your spiritual journey, maybe you've always had a really on and poppin' intuition, or you just know things and you're not sure why you know them, but you guys really are tapped into your own spirit, your own higher self, and even your own surroundings. Maybe you walk into a room after people have been fighting and you can just sense the energy, like, oh wow, this is not a good place, not a good time right now, and you can really sense that. But you can also sense where you're kind of falling short in your own soul's potential. And a lot of times you guys do beat yourselves up for not living up to that potential is there. A lot of times you just feel lost. You're like, how can I live up to my greatest and highest potential when I don't even know what it is? You can feel it in there somewhere, but maybe some of you just don't know what it is. Then others of you know what that highest potential is. You just don't know how to get there. But a big part of your incarnation here, your life mission, your soul purpose, is to figure it out. Reconnect to your spirit and really work through the things you need to heal to level yourselves up and figure out what you're here to do. So let's find out some of your strengths and ways you can really operate in this world. We've got here love, light and love. Your purpose is to bring divine healing, light, and love to this world. So like I say to many starseeds and light workers, just you being on this planet, not doing anything special, just you breathing air and then exhaling carbon dioxide, just you breathing and being here, and your energy and matter being incarnated in this human body, you are doing your life work, your life purpose, your life mission. Just you being here is enough. So those of you who are trying to live up this really mega awesome potential, yes, that potential is there. It's written in your birth chart. It's written in your soul. But that doesn't mean if you somehow fall short, quote unquote, of your ultimate potential, that you did this lifetime wrong. Absolutely not. Just you being here is you fulfilling your life purpose and your soul's mission, because this is, our souls on the other side, we can get real lofty goals set up. We can sign up and bite off way more than we can chew. Then we get here and we're like, oh snap, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought. So many souls do this. Many souls sign up for a lot more than any one incarnation can actually fulfill and do. And you guys are no exception. You signed up to really clear a lot of past karma, experience a wide variety of events, both good and bad. Good and bad is relative. It's just our ego that likes to put labels on things. But just you guys being here and living and trying to do your best, that is enough. Point blank, you're living your mission just by doing your best, whatever that looks like in any now moment. Doing your best is enough. Also, music. Your connection to music is healing for yourself and others. So many of you are my musicians. Many of you are very skilled with your singing voice, with playing instruments, or just knowing what a good song is. Maybe you have a really awesome musical taste and all your friends come to you like, hey, any recommendations for my new playlist? You're the one to go to. And also, music is very healing for you. You guys have such a soul connection to music. Whether you're a musician or not, or you can't sing a tune, or you're really good at singing or can't sing a note, it doesn't matter, because your connection to music is so important to your life purpose here. You seeking out bands or artists that really resonate with you, hearing music that really touches your soul, that really raises your vibration and allows you to be this bigger beacon of light. So music, I think for most of you, will always play a very important role in your life. From the time you were very young until the day you die, music is going to be your homeboy. You love music, you love jamming out to music, and it may be where you're just, again, the person everyone goes to be like, what's a good song that I could play on my road trip? Like, you're the one to go to. You know where it's at, where music is concerned. Also, books. Your connection to your life purpose. You connect to your life purpose through your involvement with books. So many of you learn about that inner environment, that higher self, your inner soul aspect through reading self-help books. Maybe many of you will eventually write a book or have the like really ultimate ambition to write some sort of book, whether that's fiction, fantasy, whether that's a self-help book. It's going to run the gamut because you guys are all different people. Many of you just really enjoy reading, never have the desire to write. You're all going to fall on a different spectrum, so only take the parts that really resonate for you. But many of you have a very extensive book collection. You have many bookcases, bookshelves, and just being surrounded by books or going into a bookstore really raises your vibration. And you can even read books while listening to music, and that's like, whoa! It really brightens your light. It really raises your vibration. This is such a cool pile. You guys are awesome. I just want to say thank you for incarnating and just shedding your light on this dark planet that was once a very bright and vibrant planet. It's becoming that again, slowly and surely, and you guys are doing your part. Your soul mission is to just help raise the vibration of this planet and many other things that you're all going to fall on that gamut or spectrum, slightly different from each other because this is a general reading. But you guys are awesome. I just want to say, go ahead and share any of your comments or how this resonated for you. I always love to read what you have to say, and I love to see you guys encourage. I can't even talk. I'm so excited for you guys. I'm just so excited to see you encouraging each other in the comments and making friends. You guys really do treat each other very well. I love you guys. I just want to say thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really truly do hope to see you right here back at The Done Creative and also on my new live stream channel. Link is in the description, The Done Creative Live. All right, you guys, bye. All right, group number 2, let's go ahead and find out what your soul mission or life purpose is in this lifetime. And we're going to just kind of start with our 3 chakra love messages to get us going here. Okay, so we have here third eye chakra, amethyst, chakra balance, harmony. Chakra balance is all the chakras. And then heart chakra, jade. So these 3, well, all chakras I think are really important for you, but especially the third eye and the heart chakra. Those are the 2 that are really standing out most. But you guys may have trouble at times really balancing everything out, balancing your life, balancing your emotions, balancing your chakras, just balancing everything. But we're going to get into all this. So with this amethyst card on the third eye chakra, it says intuition. Intuition is a little tug that pulls you toward your light. So you guys, in this incarnation, your soul purpose is to really tap into that intuition and learn to trust it, not to doubt it, because I think many of you have an amazing intuition. It's just a lot of times you tend to doubt yourself or need some sort of external validation. I'm guilty of that as well. It's always nice to have that external validation to be like, yeah, okay, I am right. Okay, cool. I'm on the right path. Here we go. But you guys, as you get older and wiser, you're going to learn to just trust that intuition without eventually needing that external validation. But with this heart chakra, the crystal jade is present here, and compassion. Resolve your conflicts with compassion. So you guys really are my more softer side of the star seeds. You're more the crystal children rather than those indigos. Not to say if you identify as indigo that you're not an indigo, because follow your intuition, don't doubt yourself. But if you are an indigo child, you kind of go about the indigo way in a slightly less abrasive way than you would consider most indigos, because most indigos just kind of barrel in and they're unapologetic, and I love my indigos. My brother's an indigo, and I have cousins that are indigos and friends that are indigos, and I love that energy so much. It's a no holds barred kind of, I'm going to tell it like it is kind of energy. But you guys, even if you have that side of you, you also have this very beautiful soft side, which most indigos do. So you guys may identify yourselves as a blue ray soul, an indigo child, or a crystal child, maybe rainbow child, any kind of star seed you guys might identify as. But you're coming into this incarnation to really live from your heart and have that compassion, have that love, really understand. You guys, by the time you're done on this earth here in this incarnation, you're going to really understand that people aren't acting to, from a place of whatever within them to purposely try to trigger you. A lot of times people are operating from their pain or past traumas or wounds that are, that's kind of our mode of operation, a lot of us, until we start that spiritual journey and start to heal and tap into that more sense of love and heart, where we can realize that even if someone's biting our head off and snapping at us, that's that pain talking, that's that trauma talking, and you guys in this incarnation are really going to learn that. And you may even, a lot of times, act from your pain and tell people, do things or say things that you didn't mean, because you're here to learn to say things or to do things in a more compassionate way. That's what you're here to learn. So it may not have always been easy for you to act from that heart space, but it's going to be something you're evolving into, if that makes any sense. Let's go ahead and lay the rest of these out. I struggled to try to figure it out on group 1, but I'm just going to roll with it right now that I know what I'm doing. Alright, so we're going to start right here in the middle with this productivity card with the pumpkin, number 8. So you guys are my, soul people. You are the ones that are constantly in motion, or that's what you aspire to do. You guys really want to get things done, check those things off your to-do list, but sometimes you, again, with that chakra balance, with the harmony here, remember to balance things. A lot of times you're all gung-ho on one project and then all the rest of your life is out of balance, or you're just perpetually trying to balance your life, balance your chakras, balance your relationships, balance the work-life balance, You're trying to balance a lot of stuff. So some of you may be Libras, and contrary to popular belief, at least with Libra ascendants, which I am a Libra ascendant, so I'm speaking from my own experience, especially Libra ascendants have a really hard time balancing everything in their life. Like, my life can get so out of balance so quickly if I'm not very mindful of it. So wherever a Libra is in your chart, or if you are a Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, prominent placements within Libra, or whatever house Libra rules in your chart may be where you are very productive, but yet a lot of times fall out of balance with things. But you're here to take action and be productive and really figure out what it is you're here to do. Many of you have, from a young age, known you were here to do something big, but you just didn't know what that thing was, or maybe you thought it was this thing and then it didn't work out. That's not to say it wasn't that thing, because I like to say we have a lot of little life purposes, not just one big overarching life purpose. It's kind of like a book. A lot of times when you're writing a book, you kind of want a main theme, or like the main idea, the main premise of the book, and then you'll have like the main plot here, the main thing, but then you also have subplots, sub-characters. You'll have things that just kind of weave in together, little things that kind of give hints to the bigger themes of the book, like it's a tapestry. You're weaving a tapestry when you're writing a book, or deciding an incarnation, what you're going to be doing during that incarnation. You're creating and weaving this beautiful tapestry. So you have a lot of little life purposes kind of all mixed up in your overarching life purpose. And a lot of it has to do with productivity. But with this success card here, many of you, especially if you haven't found success in your younger years, this is letting you know you're going to find success. And the things you find success in, a lot of times, are part of your soul's path, your life mission, your soul purpose. That's what you're here to do, is to succeed in certain aspects. That doesn't mean that you need to stay there. Like, say you're a successful, corporate employee where you're working a corporate job, but it sucks the life out of you. It drains your life force. It sucks your soul, but you were very successful at it. Just because you're successful at something doesn't mean that's what you need to continue to do. It's almost like you needed to prove to yourself, okay, I can be good at this one thing, but again, that doesn't mean you have to be that way or that person forever, because you have here the Cancer sign and also Libra. I just now saw that Libra. So cool. So Libra and Cancer may be two very important signs in your chart, prominent placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, or else, even if they're empty houses on your chart, wherever Cancer falls, wherever Libra falls, these are two paired up and connected signs where you can find productivity and success in your life. So then we have the Wait card. It's not yet time. Things are being woven. So what this is telling me, that at the time of your watching this, there's something going on behind the scenes, energetically, on a soul level, beyond the veil, beyond what you can really sense, and maybe even going on within you, kind of a spiritual bit of a revolution going on within you. It's not quite time to take action on something new, but many of you kind of feel, it's almost like that womb energy. You're in that womb, things are being woven, that tapestry of your life is being woven, and you're trying to decide, should I use yellow thread or red thread? Should I make this really elaborate or more simple. You're kind of in this kind of stasis right now where you're planning for your next steps, especially those of you who felt really stagnant. Maybe just you deciding, okay, I'm going to start planning something for the future. And then taking that, blank piece of paper or journal entry and start writing out what you would like to accomplish, what it is you want to do. That'll start getting the ball rolling out of that stagnancy so you can actually take action and feel more productive. But I'm also seeing another side of this for you guys. So there's almost like two avenues here, two sides of this coin. The other side of you are people who are constantly in motion, constantly trying to be productive and knock those things off your to-do list. And this is letting you know, those of you who identify with that, it's time to allow yourself a bit of a breather, a bit of a timeout, a bit of a break. Give yourself some time out because something you're trying to create and make successful, it's not quite ripe. That pumpkin's still a little bit green around the edges there and not quite ready to, harvest and be ready to make a success. So allow yourself a time out to just breathe, to just kind of look back and ruminate on how far you've come on this project or this, thing you're going after or doing in your life. Allow yourself some time to just let it sit, and then you will see some success come in. So then here we have the blue flame. Spontaneous awakening, activation, and integration time. And integration time paired with weight is such a beautiful message for many of you, because a lot of times when you've done a lot of healing, a lot of shadow work, a lot of inner work, a lot of that dark night of the soul stuff, right after you're done with a big heap of healing, it's not time quite yet to jump into action. It's time to just let things simmer or sit or kind of marinate a bit before you get that ball rolling and start being productive again, because it's going to take a bit of adjustment, that equilibrium, with that Libra scales again, to balance things out. Once you've cleared a lot of past baggage, wounds, trauma, resentment, guilt, you've healed a lot, that's going to free up a lot of your energetic field for something new to come in. But before you jump 2 feet in to really go after that thing, this is saying you need a bit of a time to just let the dust settle, let everything just be as it is, so you can kind of get your feet wet slowly and see what your quote unquote, and I hate this, but new normal, see what your new normal is going to be after all of that healing or that, thing that you've done. Allow it to kind of marinate a bit. You need some integration time, because many of you, this is part of your purpose, is to have a spontaneous awakening or a spiritual awakening that just comes out of the blue and creates a dark night of the soul, and then before you know it, it's a chain reaction of events that are going on in your life, turning it upside down, which many of us who have had spiritual awakenings have had happen in our lives. Because when you awaken to who you are on a soul level, a lot of us will realize the lives we've been living have been more from that ego standpoint or from that more 3D standpoint, and a lot of the choices that we've made in the past are not going to serve our more spiritual future. So many of you fall into that category of, once you've had that awakening, your whole life kind of shook up, or you really sense this sense of like depression or dark night of the soul because the life you were living is not in alignment with your soul. And it might take you some time to really figure that out and allow that integration of, well, that didn't work, I'm releasing it, so let me just, what now? And allow yourself to just breathe and maybe make some plans before you jump 2 feet back in. Then here we have transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. So much healing that you guys are going to be doing in this lifetime. Healing from past traumas, wounds, even past life stuff. I think a lot of you brought in a heavy load of past life trauma, past life karma that you're hoping to really heal and clear the deck of in this incarnation. And I'm seeing many of you that chose this pile. Part of your life mission is to kind of resolve something that happened in your most recent past life. So those of you who have tapped into your most recent past life, and again, time is an illusion and all that, so every life we're having is happening right now. Every single life, even if it looks like it was in the past or in the future, it's all happening now. So take this as it resonates. But the most chronological order of time, life that you have lived, your most recent past life, you're clearing the deck on something that transpired in that life. And many of you are actually in this life playing with a lot of soulmates from that past life to really help each other, level up karmically. You're clearing karma and then leveling up spiritually, learning those lessons so that your soul can go up a notch. When you do leave this incarnation and go back, you're gonna be like, yes, I beat the level, awesome, on to the next. It's really, really good. But again, while you're in this incarnation, that's gonna be like a lot of things changing in your life. But many of you, with things changing at a cellular level and activation here, you are experiencing a lot of ascension symptoms. And those of you on a spiritual path, you already know what this ascension process is. But those of you who don't, look up ascension symptoms, ascension process, fifth dimensional consciousness. That'll get you a little bit of homework to really tap into what it is we're talking about here. Because part of your soul's mission is to awaken to your spiritual abilities, to your spiritual side in this lifetime. Then here we have trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So when this card comes out, I'm just reminded that you guys may really doubt yourselves. Remember, with that intuition there, you're wondering, can I trust this? Is this gut instinct even valid? Absolutely it is. So you learning to trust your own gut, to trust your own inner guidance, is a big part of your life purpose, is a big part of your soul mission. And as you grow older and wiser in this life, you're going to really trust yourself more than external sources. You're going to trust what you feel, what you see, what you hear from your own internal guidance, as opposed to what you may hear on the news or your neighbor trying to give you advice or something like that. You're going to really know what your path is, and you're going to trust it with unwavering faith, because you're not alone. Your guides and angels, you have such a strong spiritual team, such a strong guidance system. Your guides, your angels, crossed over loved ones, and your own higher self. Many of you also have what I would consider like a twin flame connection to someone who is not incarnated, that they actually work as one of your spirit guides. But those of you who do resonate with the twin flame journey and have identified that twin flame here on this earth, just know that that twin flame's higher self is acting actually as one of your spirit guides in this lifetime. Such a cool little bit of info coming through right there. I love that. But if you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So follow your dreams, follow your heart, follow your gut and your intuition, and it will not lead you wrong. And these are going to be ways you're kind of living out this mission. So for many of you, most of you, probably all of you, you are my very creative souls. Creative expression. Your soul longs to express itself creatively. We are creator beings on a soul level. So when we can come to this third dimensional plane and we have all this new stuff to play with, we want to get creative. And you guys are no exception. You love creating. You love, maybe decorating or reorganizing. You love getting your feet wet and dirty and trying new things creatively. Trying new hobbies where you're painting, you're drawing, you're doing music, all the things you consider creative, you guys want to try it. And those of you, some of you are like, no, that's not me. I don't want to try any of that. I can't step out of my comfort zone. Part of your life mission is to get your feet wet, try new things in that creative way. I just saw someone going to one of those, I think it's called like painting with a twist or drunk painting. I don't know, they call them different things, but where you get together with some friends and you go and you drink wine and you paint and you kind of follow the instructor. Like that would be kind of a non-threatening way to dive into something new where you're kind of following along with someone else. But I think many of you are kind of the ones that march to the beat of your own drummer and just kind of want to try things on your own. You don't want to have to put yourself in a group and go with the flow of what the group is doing. So I'm kind of almost seeing that there are probably about 40% of you that are just trying new things. You love change, you love, trying on different hats, literally or figuratively, and you're excited to try new things creatively. And then about 60% of you have a hard time allowing yourself to be creative because it's almost like you feel like you're wasting time or you're not being productive if you're just spreading your energy all over the place trying out new things. So finding that balance where you can try more things rather than kind of close that creative part of yourself away. Many of you are already living that purpose with that 40%. You're already living your purpose, being creative, trying new things. You are kind of a jack of all trades as a creative person. Maybe you crochet, paint, you're a photographer, whatever. You're doing all these things and you're good at all of them. That's the thing. You're good at all of them. And then those of you who kind of kind of hide or kind of hoard your creativity and don't really let it come out to play very often, part of your soul mission is to allow that to break free and really immerse yourself in this life and all it has to offer, and to create things. That's part of your mission, is to break out of that shell and create things. But for those 40% of you already doing that, keep on going. Trust your path. You're doing the thing. You're doing it awesome. So here we also have oracle cards. You are able to discern answers and guidance for yourself and others. So many of you watching this may be my other pick a card or tarot readers here on YouTube, or you are someone who does readings for people, or even if you just have a couple decks that you just enjoy doing them on your own. You're very talented, you're very gifted at discerning answers from this form of divination for yourself and others. So even if you're not into oracle cards yet, I would assume you're into them in some capacity, way, shape, or form. If you're watching me pick a card reading, you're at least intrigued by the idea. So this could be a future message for some of you that you're meant to actually help others give readings, be a tarot reader or an oracle reader. But for those of you already on that path, just know, trust your path. This could actually support you. This could be a way to success. This could be something that you can do for your whole life. Even if it's not your main job, it's still a talent. It's still a spiritual gift you have to be able to divine information from tarot or oracle cards for yourself and for other people. So part of your life purpose would be to kind of dive into that, and not just oracle cards, but other forms of divination, meditation, just really connecting to your own spirituality or your spiritual side, trusting your intuition. Remember, you also have the freedom card here. You're free to do what you choose. So there is nothing here that says you have to be in a box and fit in and do X, Y, and Z and you have to follow the rules. No. You are trusting your path. You are waiting until the time is right. You are succeeding in different areas of life. You're transforming. You're awakening. You guys have the freedom to live a life you want, a life you enjoy, a life that is just, I said this in group 1 as well. You guys are the pile that life, you don't feel like life is happening to you. You feel like life is happening for you, and you are those co-creators of your reality, and you know that, and you're learning to trust that. And the wiser you get, the more you're really on your flow. You're on your life purpose. You're on your mission because you know nothing else. It's like you've healed, you've done that healing, you've changed at a cellular level, and kind of burned off with that blue flame. You've burned off those ego aspects that are no longer serving you. Of course, we all need an ego to be able to survive. It is our fight or flight kind of try to keep us safe part of our life. So we do need an ego to exist here, but we don't need the ego running the show. And that's where you guys are going to shine. You're going to decide, no, my higher self is in control here. Ego, I love you. You're needed, you're wanted, you're accepted, but you are going to be in the passenger seat. And once in a great while, I will allow you to tell me where to turn and what the GPS is saying. But otherwise, keep it down. So you guys have that freedom to create any life you want. You have it. Those of you who still feel like I'm in a box, I'm trapped, I'm having to do what my family says, my friends say, my significant other says, what society says, you're breaking out of that. You're awakening to your true life purpose, to your soul. You're awakening, and that won't be the case for long that you feel trapped, because you're waking up to this big ball of freedom. You're realizing there is no box. The possibilities are endless with you guys, and you guys can really create a beautiful life for yourselves when you start trusting that you're on the right path and trusting your intuition. So I think that's all I'm seeing for you, but I always love to hear what you have to say and if this resonated, so please share any of your comments or your stories below. I always love to read what you have to say, and as always, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things, and I really truly do hope to see you right here back at the Done Creative, and also over on my new live stream channel where I do free readings live 3 days a week on the Done Creative Live. Link for that is in the description. Alright you guys, bye! Alright, group number 3, let's go ahead and find out what your soul mission or your life purpose is in this incarnation. We're going to go ahead and start with these chakra love messages and then get more guidance from the cards. Let's turn these the right way here. Alright, wow. lots of lower chakra energy because you guys are meant to really immerse yourself in this world and everything it has to offer. This is really beautiful energy. So what I'm getting here, we first have root chakra red jasper, sacral chakra tiger eye, and root chakra garnet. So root chakra especially with this message here for grounding. Sink your roots deep, connect them to the heart of the earth. Grounding for you guys is so very important. So important. More important than any of the other piles. Grounding, getting yourself out in nature, making sure your connection to this earth is on and poppin', because you guys are meant to really immerse yourselves in this planet and everything it has to offer. Then with this sacral chakra tiger eye card, it says passion. Turn your fear of change into excitement for change. So many of you are here to learn that change, even if it isn't good or what we would deem as good, it is still what's needed for our highest evolution, our soul's growth. So part of your mission is to really tap into that passion and turn that fear of change into excitement for change in your life. So then with the root chakra, this is all about security. To feel more secure, deepen your connection with nature. So your connection to nature, you feeling really grounded, is going to help you feel safe and secure and stable in your life. Because you guys, many of you may be earth signs. With all this root chakra energy, you may be earth signs. That would be Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, or you have prominent placements within earth signs, or that earth trine in your chart, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Wherever those houses fall, whatever planets are there, that's a very important part. That triangle of the earth in your chart is very important to what it is you're here to do, what your soul's mission is. So find out, if you don't know what your birth chart looks like already, you can find out. Either Vedic or Western charts or tropical charts will work, whatever one resonates most for you. All right, let's get some more guidance. Okay, so we're going to start right here in the middle with the love card, tomato. So you guys are here. Look at all this red. You got a lot of red going on with these cards here. So learning to love. Many of you have such a strong love of nature. When you pair that up with this animals card here, you understand animals and communicate with them intuitively. Trust your inner guidance, as the animals are part of your life's work. Not just the animals, but the earth itself. You have a very strong connection to the animals, to the earth, to maybe even the earth and air elementals, which would be like the Fae, if you subscribe to that line of thinking. Interdimensional earth beings, you guys are really connected to them on vibration level, and just really diving into that connection can really help you figure out more about that and more about what you're here to do. But many of you, most of you, all of you are here to learn something about communication, and especially where your love, people you love is concerned, or things you love, communicating about things you do love. These are all very important things. With this love here, we've got Libra, and with communication, we have Pisces here. So these two houses or signs within your birth chart are going to be very important places. Libra, the sign of Libra, wherever it is, any placements or planets within that house, even if it's an empty house, that house number, say Libra is your 5th house, whatever 5th house represents, which would be children, artistic ability, all of that, 5th house. That's where your love is really centered. And then with communication, wherever your house of Pisces is, say Pisces is your 6th house, you're wanting to communicate about healing and about daily routines, stuff like that. So this can give you guys additional homework or guidance and looking into your own chart to really dive deeper to figure out what this means for you. But many of you are finding really creative ways to even work with other people to communicate. So maybe you're creating some sort of community or online presence where you're in communication with more than just yourself. You're communicating with other people. Maybe you're creating some sort of partnership or business where with someone else, where you're creating content or communicating a message, usually messages that are very loving, very helping people find that passion, that security, that sense of peace within their own lives as well. So with this perspective card here, it says none of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. It's funny, I know common ground means let's all get on the same page, but ground and grounding, there's that word grounding again. second time here, third time if you connect that with the security as well. So you guys really are meant to ground yourself into reality, but also realize from that higher perspective, this is far, far away from Earth, not grounded at all. So with the communication, wherever those air signs, your Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius are in your chart, are also going to be really important places where you're communicating or where you're getting more information on how you can communicate better. Because remember, you're not just coming in with strengths into this life, you're also coming in with weaknesses. And many of you are turning those weaknesses into strengths. So some of you may have had a really hard time communicating or speaking your truth to begin with, but by the time you're done with this incarnation, it's going to be a major strength for you. But really gaining that perspective by really zooming out and realizing that life is a bit of a game. This is not the end all be all of our existence. This is just but a blip on the radar. So if you make mistakes, if you feel out of control, or like life is just really hard, many of you just need that moment to step away from feeling so immersed in it and just to get that higher perspective. That's really going to help you figure out, and you're helping other people do this as well. So many of you may be taking on some sort of leadership role in your community or as your job or your line of work, where you are creating stability and security for other people to feel not so out there, not so out of touch, but to feel really grounded in their own lives and in their own, what they're wanting to accomplish as well. So sort of like a life coach or some sort of mentor or counselor. Even if that's not the type of job you're working, you're still using these abilities in any job that you are in or any career that you're in. So with the star ancestors here, it says hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper, zoom out, common ground, looking deeper. So many of you are not only zooming out to get that higher perspective, but you're looking deeper. You're digging down into the earth, digging deeper. That's 8th house energy or Scorpio energy, where you're digging to get to the root of something, to the where it exists, where it started. So many of you are actually going to be uncovering a lot of hidden secrets within your family, within this world, lost wisdom. Maybe you guys are instrumental in locating lost artifacts, or you really just dive into that stuff when you hear that there's been some sort of new discovery of lost artifacts or lost wisdom that's been uncovered. You guys read everything you can about it. You guys are my detective. Let's just put it that way. You're the detectives. You guys like to get to the heart of things. Maybe many of you are interested in true crime or trying to solve unsolved mysteries, or just asking the what ifs about the hidden mysteries of life. You guys really just immerse yourself in that. You love that so much. I'm really getting Pluto energy with that as well. So you may have a really prominent Pluto placement in your chart, may have it on your ascendant or conjunct another planet, or just in a really interesting, could even be Pluto in the 8th house or Pluto in Scorpio. So looking a little deeper, you guys aren't just going to take something at face value. You guys are that root chakra here. You're going to get to the bottom of things. You're really going deep, but also you have that ability eventually to zoom out and gain that otherworldly perspective. So then here we have starseed. What lights you up? So yes, of course, you guys are starseeds. I think all 3 piles, there are many, many starseeds watching my channel at this point, so it may come as no news to you that you are a starseed, a light worker, whatever label you want to put on it, old soul. You're someone who's been here before, done this before. You come from higher realms. You come from other planets, other star systems, and you're here to raise the vibration of this planet. But the best way you guys go about doing it, big part of your life purpose, to raise the vibration of the earth, is to get in constant communion with said earth. Be very connected to the earth to help raise her vibration up. You guys are instrumental in this. You guys are beautiful, beautiful starseeds, and it's almost like this is your perspective when you're beyond the veil. You're not that connected to the earth because you've got that farther vantage point from your other star system or wherever you call home on the other side. But when you are incarnated on that little ball right there, you get as connected as you can. And many of you were very connected to this earth as children. You probably were barefoot all the time outside. Maybe even as an adult, you are constantly trying to connect to nature, but especially when you were children, that really solidified your love of planet Earth. Many of you wanted to grow up near water or did grow up near water. You have a really beautiful, strong connection to water. Water is a part of the earth, so grounding can also look like swimming in the natural bodies of water. Anything that's of the natural world, I would consider earth, for the all intents and purposes of this reading. Whatever you're connected to with the earth, even the air, even if you love being up in the air, flying, and being up in the mountains really high up in altitude, you guys, that's still air. That air energy is still a part of this earth experience, if that makes sense. So here, brotherhood. It says sisterhood, I said brotherhood. So for my brothers out there, this pertains to you as well. Brotherhood or sisterhood of the rose. Beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. So yes, you guys are teachers. You're spreading love. You're communicating. You're showing that, to me, Earth and Venus are very closely connected. Like, they are sisters. If you ask me, Earth and Venus are very inner, like maybe they are soulmates of each other, I don't know, but to me Earth and Venus are very connected. Beauty and devotion. So to me, Earth and Venus as entities, as planets, as consciousnesses, they are very close together. Venus and then Earth and then Mars, like that's the order lineup from the sun. So Venus and Earth are very closely connected, like not just energetically, but like distance wise to each other compared to other planets as well. But to me, all this earth and grounding you're doing is also very connected to the Venusian aspects of life. So you have Pisces here, where Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces. So many of you may have Pisces Venus, or a Libra Venus, or a Taurus Venus, because Taurus and Libra are ruled by Venus. And you may have Venus there, or you may have Venus, planet Venus, within an earth sign, which would be Taurus, which is already ruled by that, or Virgo or Capricorn. So whatever resonates for you. But Venus, beauty, seeing beautiful things, feeling beautiful, these are all very important to you. Feeling connected, especially to that divine feminine, because this is what this card is all about, that divine feminine, that priestess energy, that beauty and devotion, that is the divine feminine. So many of you are using this incarnation, even if you're a man in this incarnation, or you identify as non-binary, or anything that you identify as, whatever it is you identify as, you're using this incarnation, or part of your mission here is to really strengthen the divine feminine part of yourself. I'm hearing now, one particular person watching this did start this incarnation as a man and has transitioned to now identify as female. And this is because this strong divine feminine that you experienced from a very young age, and it was very hard for you to be that masculine energy. So just know you're on your right path. You're on your right track. So mystic, teacher, many of you are here to really tap into those hidden secrets, that hidden or lost wisdom, or that wisdom within, that inner higher self. You're tapping into that, and then you're able to teach others what you've learned. That doesn't always have to mean you're some sort of spiritual guru preaching to people up on a mountain. Again, you can communicate this stuff, you can communicate this love and beauty and devotion in a multitude of ways, in a multitude of different careers or jobs that you're out there doing. So then we have the study card. Reading, research, education help you gain confidence and clarity about your career. So you pair this up here with the hidden secrets, lost wisdom, and look a little deeper. You guys are my researchers. You're my detectives, like we've already touched on. You guys love to go deep and really get to the root, the heart of everything. And I was going to say, these three cards are kind of how you're playing all this information out in this life. So many of you are always seeking. You may be a life path 7, always seeking the truth of whatever's going on out, those hidden secrets, that lost wisdom. You're seeking that truth, but you're also going within. That's very hermit energy, and Hierophant energy as well with the study. Hierophant is associated with the sign of Taurus, which again is that Venus ruled sign. So Taurus is another very important sign for you. Wherever Taurus falls, if you're me, Libra ascendant, Taurus falls my 8th house. So I really do identify with this pile a lot. A lot of what we're getting here, I identify with wholeheartedly. I am a life path 7, and I do have Taurus on the 8th house, which 8th house is that house of hidden knowledge and digging really deep to the root of things. You guys may be also Libra ascendants because I just said that, so I love that. I love when it all kind of lines up. But you guys really are those ones that really want to read and research and educate yourselves about things. And a lot of times you will get that education by going into meditation, getting that education from your higher self, rather than reading it in a book. But I think many of you do also enjoy reading things out of books as well. So we kind of touched on animals, but we'll get right back into it. You understand animals and communicate with them intuitively. Trust your inner guidance, as the animals are part of your life's work. Animals and nature and the earth, all connected. You love connecting with animals and nature. It is how you ground. So many of you may have pets, even if you live in a city and can't get out in nature as much. If you have a cat or a dog or a mouse or a snake, any kind of animal, a fish, whatever, you're still not using this pet. You're not purposely using this pet, but you're getting the added benefit of homing and loving this pet. You're getting that natural earth energy when you pet the pet, pet the dog, pet the cat. You just loving this animal is benefiting both of you, not just you, not just the animal, but both of you. It's a symbiotic relationship, that's for sure. So we also have here heart's desires. The angels are supporting, guiding, and protecting you as your dreams become a reality. So your life mission here is, on this earth, your life mission is heart's desire. Follow your heart. Follow what lights you up. Follow what you love. Be what you love. Do what you love. That is your main takeaway, your main theme here. Do what your heart tells you to do. Tap into that earth energy, that Venus energy, that love, that devotion, that expression. Tap into that, and your intuition will take you to the next step. Then your intuition will take you to the next step, and the next step, and the next step. Your guides and angels are also always communicating with you. So you connecting to your guides and angels, your star brothers and sisters, your soul team, your spirit team, connecting with them, you're going to get a lot of communication from them. And many of you are able to channel that information that you're receiving from spirit, from your guides and angels and your star sisters and brothers. You're writing that down and channeling that into your artwork. You're channeling that into your words when you're giving advice to people, when you're doing readings for people, when you're writing books or, Facebook posts. You're channeling information from the divine to give others a beautiful bit of advice. It's really beautiful. I just want to keep saying beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You guys are beautiful inside and out, and I love you. And that divine feminine energy that you guys are rocking in this incarnation is so needed right now. It's beautiful what you're doing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love you guys. You will have to let me know below if this resonated, any comments you have about it, any stories you want to share. I always love to read what you have to say, and I try to answer as many back as I can. It's getting a little difficult now that I'm up over 9,000 subscribers. You guys just keep coming, and I love it. I just never would have envisioned in many years that I would have almost 10,000 people wondering who I am or wanting to hear what I have to say here, or, listening to any bit of guidance that I have to give. But I love you guys. And I just want to say thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you right here back at The Done Creative, and also on my new live stream channel, The Done Creative Live, where I am live 3 days a week doing free readings over there. Check that out. Link is in the description for that, and I will check you later. Bye.